Good on you, Michael.
Congratulations on getting to a Champions Cup final. What were your main takeaways from the review this morning?
I would probably say the main takeaways was I think the whole world will know that we were probably for 60 minutes, we were in control. We had good control over the game. And then obviously with the quality of opposition that we had, and you can see why the Saints are the top Premiership team currently. I mean, they never kept attacking and coming at us. And obviously then we had to finish out the game in the last 8 minutes or so, which some of it we did well, some of it we did really well, some of it we could have done better. So that was probably the take home. So I think from our view, there's lots to work on going into the final. But not thinking about the final just yet. I said that to the lads as well. I think if we lift our heads up too high and start looking at the horizon, we might fall over the obstacle right in front of your face.
We know Northampton are a very good team as well, but when Leinster are in such control, I kind of think back to the New Zealand teams who might go 20-0 up, and the most important thing in the world for them was to go 40-0 up and 50-0 up, and they never let up. Is it something you can teach mentally? How do you turn a team into killers?
I think it probably boils down to execution. I think you must take the opportunities that you create, and that's it. You must, if you get an opportunity, you must capitalize on it. And probably we had a couple of opportunities which we didn't capitalize on, which was our own wrongdoing. Some of them, but some of them was also due to the quality of opposition that we had in the Saints.
Leo mentioned that you're going to play strong teams now for the next 2 URC rounds. Is there a way to spot somebody who's mentally fatigued or emotionally fatigued just after coming away from such a big match as the Champions Cup semi-final? All the players who are fit are going to say, yes, I want to play on Saturday. How do you spot if a guy maybe is, has had a huge emotional toll from the last weekend?
No, I think like I said, now we probably the main thing for us is not to focus too much on what will happen in the future and start focusing on what we must do and try and get right during the week, preparing for Ospreys. So I think as professional athletes, as coaches, you get onto the next thing as quickly as possible because that's the reality. I mean, what happened on Saturday happened. It's in the past. There's nothing we can do about it, and nothing that only the lessons that we can take out of that we can carry into the future. But the future was today's training session, and we must focus on the future. We must focus on things that we have to get right for Saturday against Ospreys.
Gary Ringrose was cleared last week at the start to be available for selection and didn't make it through in the end. Did he get another bang in training during last week that ruled him out, or what happened there?
Yeah, look, listen, when a player comes back into contention and up for selection, any player that comes back from injury now, they obviously go through their medical process, and the physios must be happy, and the medical side must be happy and tick their box. Then they go over to the performance group, which is probably S&C. They must be happy with the numbers that he's pushing out. And then the last one is probably us, as coaches. That must be not the last one, but between us and us as coaches and the player, those two parties must be happy. So medical must be happy first, then the performance staff must be happy that he will be able to handle the load, and then from a player and coaching perspective, we must be happy, both parties, that there's enough confidence and enough growth and in him as the player, and also in us. There must be enough confidence with us, and I think that's probably, I would say Gary is probably taking a little bit longer than we expected, but again, both parties must be happy. He must be happy in his mind that he will be that he would be in a position to deliver a world-class performance, because that's what needed when you're in the back end of the competition, both URC and Europe. So he must be at that level in his mind, comfortable. The team must be comfortable in him. We must be comfortable in him. And like I said, he probably he's taking a little bit longer than what we expected. But there's no rush. He must take his time. He must be comfortable. We must be comfortable. The team must be comfortable.
And was Kieran Frawley training today? And how was Hugo? Just those two players.
Kieran trained today. He did the whole training session, and then Hugo is probably the other one that's taking a little bit longer than what we expected. And exactly the same thing with Gary. Obviously medically cleared. We must be happy with the numbers that he's pushing out from a conditioning perspective, that he will be able to handle the load, and not just handle the load for week one, but must get through week one, preparation week, must get through a game and must be able to back it up. You don't want a guy coming back and then going back again, can't play for 2 weeks, then coming back. And then obviously from a form perspective, he must be comfortable and confident, the team must be, and we must be.
I'll ask you about Ospreys in a minute, but just maybe on Toulouse, Leinster Toulouse before your time had just this brilliant rivalry, met so many times. You're going to meet in a final, it's really a mouth-watering, appetising tie.
Yeah, I must say that's probably the nice thing for me. I don't have a big backdrop or big history for me it's just, listen, I know Toulouse is a quality outfit. We had players that played there when I was with the Springboks, so they were always very, they spoke well about the club, they spoke well about the people there and the rugby program that they run, so I expect a proper test when we play them in a couple of weeks' time. But to be honest, I watched the game yesterday, but I was doing my review, so I probably watched it with chameleon eyes, one eye doing the review and one eye looking what's happening there. So, but I'll get to them. We'll get, as a coaching group, as a group of players, we'll get to them and give them the respect that they need to get whenever we have to play them. But like I said, the team that needs respect now is probably Ospreys. Not probably, it is Ospreys, 100%.
Of course, and they seem to be in last chance saloon. They really need to win to keep in touch with the playoff places. I guess that makes them a more dangerous opponent. It's to win, and obviously we saw against Stormers, they're well able to perform on the road.
Yeah, no, they're a quality outfit, and the challenges that they will throw to us is definitely something that we can use in terms of preparation. It's something that we have to get right. I think they showed against the Stormers that if you, in any way, and I'm not saying the Stormers did disrespect them, but if you at any way take them lightly, or the thought goes through your head that listen, it's only Ospreys. When that only Ospreys comes in your mind, that's where you will bump your toe. So they need respect. They're a good side. They scored some brilliant tries. They've got, I know they where they are, I think they're probably 10th on the log, but they one win away from being in the top 8 and being in the knockouts. So they pretty much, in my mind, a team that will get to the knockouts. So we must make sure that we get our ducks in a row when we play them. And that was the talk today. And the training today was focused. And all credit to the players, they were on it.
Very good. I'm not sure if there's anyone else on there, but I might just ask you about the reaction to Chasing the Sun 2. How, I presume, do you watch it? Have you seen the full Chasing the Sun 2? And what are people's reaction? Are people talking to you about what they've seen?
Yeah, look, because I'm not in South Africa, I don't know how many people here get it, and I don't know how people here get it, because I think it's a SuperSport thing, so I'm not 100% sure. But over here, obviously we were in South Africa when it was aired there, so the players that went to South Africa, they probably saw maybe an episode. Look, it is what it is. It was an unbelievable experience. It was lovely to relive it again, and there's a lot of things that you forget. But it is what it is. It's in the past, and I think even the South African players and the South African coaching group will say the same thing. You know, it is wonderful to relive it, and I think if you look at the documentary, it's a story for South Africa. So obviously we have our own memories as a group that was part of the Springboks in 2023, and we will cherish that memories and that connections that we had as a team and as a group. We will cherish that for life. But they will tell you the same thing. It's done. You know, you have to start building and looking at the future. It's lovely to see it and to relive the moments. And like I say, the nice thing is there's so many things that you kind of forget over time. So it's nice to relive that again. But for me personally, lovely to see. But it's going on into the next chapter of your life, and so they will do the same thing, the players.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Jack. Thanks very much for your time, and best of luck for the week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.